I think it went very well. I think you were there and you listened and you see what a scam this is. This is a case that should have never been brought. It's a case that should be dismissed immediately. The fraud was on behalf of the court. The court was the fraudster in this case. They made references to assets that were very valuable, and they said they had no idea. They had no idea what the numbers were when they said $18 million for Mar-a-Lago, and it's 50 to 100 times that amount by any estimation.
Pretty circumspect for Donald Trump, and even in his post-testimony Truth Social post, he was far from what we're used to. Donald Trump wrote, "I spent the whole day in Manhattan court, compliments of my political opponent, crooked Joe Biden. Legal scholars agree that this is a case that should have never been brought, and it wouldn't have if I wasn't running and winning for president." It's sort of interesting that he's being more circumspect in his comments on camera, because of course, while he was on the witness stand, at one point the judge yelled at him and yelled at his lawyer to sit down when she interrupted, and so was very combative and adversarial. I guess the big question, Adrienne, that a lot of people have is, how much damage did Donald Trump do, or how much value did he add to his defense? And it seems like the legal community feels like, well, he didn't help himself by testifying, but what was your view on all this?
I definitely don't think that he helped himself at all, by virtue of the fact that he really doesn't provide anything concrete whatsoever. He simply seems to think that just because he would like something to be valued at X amount, that it thus should be valued at X amount. It's like this man creates these notions and ideas of what facts should be, when that is only fiction, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm sure as far as the jury's concerned. The thing that really gets me is what's going to happen in the aftermath, because as we noted, he is already liable. It's a question of now how much, but it also should make other attorney generals in other jurisdictions looking a little bit closer as to his tax filings. Like, he has a hotel in DC and he has properties located in various places. If he was doing this throughout New York, you can't tell me he wasn't also doing this in other jurisdictions. So where are the prosecutions coming there?
One of the theories that the Donald Trump defense team has floated is that the only reason, of course, this is being brought is because Donald Trump's running for president, and because Democrats need this platform to somehow enable the Attorney General of New York to speak out against Donald Trump and criticize him. That was their argument, that this is all about enabling the Attorney General to somehow lambaste Donald Trump on the steps of the courthouse in order to hurt Donald Trump politically. Well, New York Attorney General Letitia James responded to all of that, and also responded to the day of testimony. Here's what she said on the courthouse steps.
He rambled, he hurled insults, but we expected that. At the end of the day, the documentary evidence demonstrated that, in fact, he falsely inflated his assets to basically enrich himself and his family. He continued to persistently engage in fraud. The numbers don't lie. And Mr. Trump obviously can engage in all of these distractions, and that exactly what he did, what he committed on the stand today, engaging in distractions and engaging in name calling. But I will not be bullied. I will not be harassed. This case will go on. We look forward to hearing the testimony of Ivanka Trump on Wednesday.
And while Letitia James, of course, is speaking out there on the courthouse, Donald Trump does have his supporters, even if he's fairly muted. There was, of course, his attorney, Alina Habba, who condemned the judge and criticized the judge for telling her to sit down, which he said was rude. I'm not sure she necessarily understands how courtrooms operate.
For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.